Good afternoon. All right. Welcome to 6 Feet Podcast. I am your host, DJ Pope. I am glad that I was able to make it once again with you because if I didn't, we probably wouldn't be having a podcast right now. And so sorry we're about 30 seconds late. We were in a very hot Star Wars discussion and it went over a little bit. We had to settle it. And basically we had to make Ben stop talking about it. Okay. So a few things we got going on this week. But a few reminders I want to give you. Number one, please follow us, okay? If it sounds like I'm begging, it's because I am, all right? 6 feet, all right, at 6 Feet Pod on Instagram. Also, you can follow our Facebook page and then subscribe. We are 7 subscribers away from having a custom URL, and that would be kind of awesome, all right? So please, if you don't mind, find somebody that owes you something and say, hey, you want to pay me back? Go subscribe to 6 Feet Podcast channel, okay, on YouTube. So without further ado, you guys know I always bring on a special guest. And this week, I'm excited about this special guest, okay? Brand new, a guy of many words, has a lot to say, a lot of good stuff. None other than someone from Far East Texas, all right? And his name is Jacob Smith, my brother. Come on up, Jacob. We're excited to have you here, and once again, a special guest on 6 Feet Podcast.
Doing it again? Okay.
Yeah. Hashtag special guest. How's it been going?
Well, to be honest, things have been kind of tough. I've as we talked about last week, I had some real success with the episode.
Yeah.
I ended up going and getting an agent. And
how's Jake doing?
Well, get this. Jake is not. He has no connections in Hollywood.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you signed with. I thought they came after you, the agency.
It's garbage. He said he could put me in a commercial possibly. And so not only are we done, I cut ties with Jake, but we're not friends anymore, and he can't come over to my house anymore, which is a real
it's pretty
bummer.
A drastic change. Wow.
Yeah, it's a real bummer. He really got my insurance rates way down. So
yeah, it's weird how that kind of correlated.
It would have been good. I probably should give him a call. Yeah, but things have kind of saw the top of the mountain, and I've sort of I'm struggling right now, and I was going to bring this up later, but I just thought I'm probably – so I had to pay for gas on the way here. And so I was going to – well, we could talk about it afterwards.
Yeah. Gas is cheap, yeah.
Yeah, it's like $30, but it's $30. So it's just – I could tell Ben could –
Speaking of Ben, all right, let's so I felt like we were a little hard on Ben last week. Nothing wasn't deserved, but I think that maybe we could have voiced it a little bit better than what we did. And so we put out a poll because I was kind of trying to figure out which way do we go with Ben, and
because we were unanimously get him off.
On this table, there wasn't a poll to be had.
There's no question.
Right.
It was
100%. It was far better than any presidential election we'll ever see.
Yeah, unanimous.
It's unanimous. And we were in complete agreement. We had good reasons, but we put the poll out there about how you feel about Ben, and there was overwhelming support that supported Ben. And so
that knocked me back.
Knocked my socks off.
I thought
completely.
What is happening in the world when
I literally checked the accounts
Bens of the world are getting a wave of support?
Yeah, I know. And I checked the accounts to make sure they weren't spam accounts that he created because he's been known to do that.
Yeah.
And they weren't. They were legitimate accounts.
I'm looking at them right now. I would not be surprised about that. But we do want to
Ben,
apologize to you, Ben.
We are sorry.
Maybe it was too far. And
for the way we said it.
Yeah.
The way you said it?
Yeah, not necessarily. I mean, because some of the things that we said were valid.
The segment was bad. I mean,
it was bad. Yeah.
So,
and the fact that the screen didn't get switched and things like those, it's kind of like that's your job, okay? But
And
the way that we
some things are your fault and some things aren't. So
the way we said it, we want to say that we're sorry for that, though.
Yeah, and it will not happen again.
Ever.
That is,
you have our word.
Accept.
So
you have our.
I'll take
word.
what I can get.
okay,
Yeah.
Well,
just take that, Ben. Take that. So, what? Everything else okay with you?
it's been a good show. We hope to see you next week.
It's been really good thus far. So let's move on. We have got our next topic is the price of winning. And so our topic this week, I saw this. I got the idea on a documentary. All right. You guys might have seen a little documentary on ESPN called The Last Dance. All right. Going through. It's a 10-part series on Michael Jordan. And so Michael Jordan, even if you know nothing about basketball, you know who Michael Jordan is. Okay. Right. Heard of he's a little kind of a big deal. But what shocked me on this episode is that this guy wins 6 championships, a lot with the same players. Okay. He does it 3 times, retires for a little while, does it 3 more times. Scottie Pippen, big part of that. You got guys like Steve Kerr, Horace Grant, all of these, big name players. But one thing that they all had in common on the show was that how much they really disliked playing with Michael Jordan because he was intense, because he held them to a high standard. He was really kind of, in some cases, a jerk, the way that he talked to them and things like that. And they asked Michael about it on the documentary, and he says, that's the price of winning. I had to be this guy, this kind of guy, to elevate them to a place that's going to make us competitive. Yeah. And so I thought about that, and any time that you're going to win at something, there has got to be monumental sacrifices if you're going to win it. I mean, be a winner in whatever aspect. So I was going to ask you. So you got a 4-year degree from TCU. You're in law school right now. A lot of good things that you've done. You've gone through the Coast Guard. Tell me about, to win, what did it take you? I mean, give me an example. Something that you can think of thus far that just you had to put it all on the line in order to achieve something.
Well, the sacrifice is a big thing. You sacrifice your time and where you focus that time, and it gets really tough whenever relatives are calling and they, and they're in town this week and blah, 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 but you have finals coming up or you have this or that. And so it's a sacrifice either way you swing it. But I think that it was necessary for me to have people in my life that have always sort of bumped me back in the right direction if I'm ever, straying. Not him. No, there's 4 or 5 that I can think of, and none of them are DJ.
I'm not on the top 5.
I'm just kidding.
Anyways, whatever. Well, this got weird. So I'm just kidding. Price of winning. I can remember for me, coaching was a big sacrifice, and so it's something that want to do for a long time, right? And Brittany and I, we had 1 kid. I finished college. I got hired to coach and teach. And I can remember coaching and it being really hard the first year because the place that I went to was a perennial winner. They went to the playoffs every year in multiple sports. And so I was coaching basketball. And I can remember the coach, she told me, she said, listen, we're going to put in a lot of time, but it's because we win. And that's what we sacrifice. That's what we're going to do in order to win. And so I can remember putting in a ton of time and sacrificing a lot of time with family and things like that, which is end up being the reason that I said, okay, you know what? Maybe this isn't God's direction for me because I'm putting so much time and so much effort into this endeavor. And I don't think that the dividends or the payoff is going to be, something I'm going to be happy with in the end. Yeah. I don't want to lose my family. I don't want to sacrifice, my kids' childhood to win basketball games. And maybe that's not the case for everybody, but for me, that's kind of what it boiled down to.
And I think that what you run into isn't so much the sacrifice of the time to win, but it's the sacrifice. It's the idea that you don't know that time is necessarily going to equal you winning.
Right.
There's so much uncertainty in that little mid area where you're wondering, okay, I'm going to have to sacrifice 10 hours a day to do this thing. But that doesn't always necessarily mean that you're going to be
right.
You're going to reach that goal. You'll reach something, but it might not be the win that you thought it was.
For every Michael Jordan, there's thousands of guys that never won it. That never even got to be in that game. But they still sacrificed time and effort and all that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. Which brings me, I think, to the spiritual component of this. Of course, this is where we're going to go with the topic. But the idea of spending your whole life paying so much in and investing so much, when what are you really trying to win in the end? And that's, I think, the big question that we have to answer, because in my opinion, if you get to the end and there's been nothing done for Christ by the end of it, then all of the investment and everything that you gained and added on really is going to come to something that's very vain and very not life-giving for you personally, or for anybody personally. Mm-hmm. And so what do you think? Am I on track with that?
Yeah, I think so. And to add to that is the fact that, like we talk about with that uncertainty, the easy part is that there is none of that uncertainty in this path.
Yeah.
It's like you know that there's a win there. So you don't have to sit in that weird space where you're like, and it could equal that win, or it might not. This choice, and you get the win.
What we see in the book of Hebrews says faith is the evidence of things not seen, and so it's not the idea that I really hope that this might happen. It's that I know that this is going to happen. This is why it's okay for me to give up this fame, or give up this temporal pleasure, or give up this, this desire that I have, because in the end I get this that is going to far exceed all of that. Mm-hmm. Christ says in Matthew chapter 16, he says towards the end of it, starting like verse 24, he goes, he tells them, he says, listen, you've got to deny yourself, pick up your cross, and follow me. And the idea of the cross is the total surrender of your life. Okay. And so there's no Christ gets this part of this compartment. It's all of it or nothing. And he says, in order to follow me or be my disciple, that's what you're going to have to do. And then he goes on, though, he adds it, and he says, whoever's willing to lose their life for my sake, lose the life completely, then they will gain it. But if they're not willing to lose it, then you're going to lose it. And so if you're not willing to give it up, then you're going to lose it anyways. Yeah. And then he goes on the famous line and says, what does it profit you if you gain the whole world but lose your own soul? And I think a lot of people's pursuit for winning in whatever category that they've clocked in, saying this is what's going to make me happy, and they find out in the end that there's never enough. There's never enough money. There's never enough job. There's never enough, degree. Never enough any of that type of stuff to fill them up for what they're looking for. And I'll be honest, my nature, I'm a pretty ambitious person, and so it's really hard for me to be satisfied at times or be content with the place that God has put me in, currently, and to live and enjoy in that. And so, but seeing verses like this is understand, okay, it's not my success level that's necessarily going to determine if I win or not. It's my faithfulness. Mm-hmm. And so that I've stuck with, that I've endured, is what Christ is going to judge. Have you followed me through these things? Not have you been successful in the world standards for me. Yeah. And so,
I love that scripture points out the thing that we were talking about sort of whenever we discussed this topic, was that there's an illusion that you may be able to get by without the sacrifice. Yeah. And that's just that. It's an illusion, because either way you go, you're sacrificing. You could say that you're not doing this, but your time is going towards something, no matter what. Right. And so that sacrifice is being made whether you know it or not. And it's pretty powerful that verse points that out.
Yeah. So my first year of coaching, okay, I was pretty off. I thought I knew a lot, and you know that I thought I knew a lot going in, because you were the subject of most of my coaching growing up before I got into actual coaching. And so my first year of actual coaching in high school, I had freshman girls. We went like 9 and 20. Okay. I learned a ton, but it never clicked like in a game. Like I never knew necessarily when to call a timeout. You know, the coach would sit beside me and kind of help me and guide me through that type of stuff, or, you know, to call a certain play. I was really just trying things and hopefully they worked. And if they did, it was kind of by a little bit of luck during the time. So I put in a ton of time that first year. Very hard on my family, very hard on Brittany during that time. Watched a lot of game film. Invested a lot of time and brain power into trying to understand the game. Go and talk to our boys coach, go and talk to our head girls coach, really sit down, they draw stuff on paper. So going into my second year, I got promoted to JV coach. And I'll never forget, it was a scrimmage game, all right? And it's like a round robin, like where you got 6 teams and you all kind of play a quarter against each other to see how you're doing and stuff. So we're playing this team, bigger school and really superior talent than what we've got. But we played them really close, and our girls. So it comes down to this, whatever the score was, but it's in the last quarter. And so for us to get a win, big confidence booster, let us, know that kind of arrived. So we get the ball, and I'll never forget it because it was like the first time it all clicked, and so I see what's happening. I see the defense that they're playing, and I've watched kind of the coach and stuff like that. So I draw up a play on the sideline, and I basically, I told the girls, spread out. You've got the ball. You're going to drive to the basket. This girl's going to step to the other side. The girl comes off. Just dump it off and whatever. It worked like a charm. She drove. Girl stepped off. She got it. Game winner. I mean, as the buzzer sounded, everything. But I remember thinking, that's like as good as it gets. Maybe we get a trophy one day or something like that. But all of that time and all that investment, and that's all I got.
That's the top of the mountain.
It was really fun for a second. I mean, and we won district. I mean, we had a fun year, but at the same time, it's like, you know what? That doesn't bring me as much joy and as much satisfaction as knowing that Christ is pleased and that I'm going the direction that He's called me.
Yeah.
And so, I think for anybody that's wondering, am I putting the right amount of energy or investment into something? I think you really have to boil it down to, am I going to be pleased? Is Christ going to be pleased with my investment in the end? And I think that leads you to, am I winning at the right things right now?
Mm-hmm.
So,
and a lot of times you just have to, sometimes that uncertainty, if you are questioning yourself in that way, sometimes you just sort of have to go for it because you can't grow without reaching that dead end.
Yeah. And that's the thing. God shut that door completely on me. And so I ran through it as hard as I could. And he was talking to my wife's heart, leading her in a certain way, leading my heart. I was split. Do I want to go into ministry? Do I want to stay this road? And I just ran until boom, shut down. And I had no problem leaving when I did. And so, I get the itch to coach in a big game or something like that, but I don't want anything to do with the practices. I don't want anything to do with all of the other investments. Yeah, all of that stuff. I'll be fine. I just want to, maybe just a big game once in a while, but nothing brings me the joy of, leading students, of ministering to God's people, of rightly dividing and preaching His word. And so, but yeah, you're right. I think God has to shut doors and allow you to run through and realize how much you want Him in contrast to other things.
Yeah.
So, all right, Ben, do we have any questions coming through for our topic right now, Ben?
Questions
Anything to build off of?
No questions for the topic.
No question for the topic. All right, people.
I don't like speaking.
Well, all that means is that we completely answered everything that you wanted to know about the price of winning.
There's no questions. Okay? You know how to win now.
We're that good. Okay.
You know how to win. You're a winner now.
We're #winning. Okay. Ben.
#blessed.
So let's move on to your other questions. All right, Ben, what do you got?
All right. So JCW the Ginger asks, which socks do you put on first, the left or the right?
I'll answer this one.
You know it right off the top of your head?
Yeah, I know it. Neither. Okay. Both.
How do you... One hand for each sock, or how does that work?
You're gonna have to see it to believe it.
Could you demonstrate? Could you mime that one?
So a lot of people, it's kind of like you
mime it. Just well,
I can't make a sound.
So first of all,
miming it.
You keep your socks separate in the drawer. Okay. All right. Okay.
That make more sense now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
if
it makes sense to you, I guess it does.
These are your socks.
I don't want to fall off
I don't feel like I'm very safe. Will you put me?
It's not stable.
Okay, so I throw the. You got me. Throw the feet up.
Throw your foot.
It's a stool. I can't do it. It's a stool. I can do a demonstration
You
later.
can do it at home.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah. So you're really shaving those extra minutes.
Listen, when you're busy, then you're busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you're busy, you're busy. Both socks, same time. You don't believe me? Try it. Watch your day go faster. I make a to-do list every day.
That's pretty.
I make a to-do list, and you want to know what's on that to-do list? Number 1, make a to-do list. Mark it off.
Done.
Number 2.
So how much time do you spend the day before writing the to-do on the to-do list?
Probably 30 minutes.
Yeah. And how long does it take you to put on your socks?
Well, the way that I do it, no time at all.
Yeah, no time at all. Yeah.
Don't waste it.
As opposed to the other way.
I don't waste time that way.
Which would take seconds.
What about you? What are you, left or right?
This is an easy one.
Since you're obviously not a dual sock
as well,
dresser.
Because don't wear socks.
Sure enough. Proving it too.
What I chase?
Check it out.
This is
when you're busy, you're busy.
This is a
what is that?
Is
that a wicker basket?
What I chase? It's a wicker basket shaped into a sock. Shaped into a shoe.
I didn't know Hobby Lobby started selling shoes.
They do. They put soles right on your socks.
It's pretty cool.
It's great.
Came up with those during COVID. While they were shut down. What's some new business ideas? We need something else to sell.
Disposable shoes. That's what they are.
Save the environment.
Ben.
Next question.
Ben, can I get a water?
So
why do we not have water, Ben? Come on.
No, come on.
It's ridiculous. We apologize, Ben.
I had my own question.
What do you want from us? Like, what do you want us to do?
You hear this? You see this?
Is he what?
He has his own question.
Oh, Ben's making.
How do y'all
We just want everybody to know.
Inside out.
Hold on just a second, Ben. Hold on just a second.
Ben,
we'll get to your question in just a second. I just want everybody to know that those of you who voted, which was an overwhelming amount, that Ben is the best. I want you to understand something. We're not answering one of your questions so that we can answer one of Ben's questions right now.
Ben is taking your time. So
go ahead, Ben.
How do y'all make y'all socks right side out?
How do we make them right side out?
When they're inside out, right? How do you?
My socks naturally wash that way.
I still don't wear socks. Yeah. If I didn't wear socks for the first question, Ben,
the question
why would I have an answer for the second
Ben.
Question?
That doesn't make any sense for Jacob. What? Did you not listen to his answer?
What about your answer?
I told you. I throw them in the washer. It doesn't matter how I throw them in there. They're either right side out or wrong side in.
I can't.
Okay. And I put them in the washer. When they're done washing, I say, McKenna, go put the clothes from the washer into the dryer. And when they come out of that dryer, Ben, they're right side out. I don't know how it happens. I think it just naturally happens. I think my socks refuse because of the way I put them on.
Probably.
I think they refuse to stay wrong side out.
I had the same thing happen when I was growing up.
Yeah. Is there a question from an actual viewer, Ben?
I can't hear the words that he's saying.
There is.
It's like a hum. It's kind of like a hum, isn't it?
Yeah.
Philly Cheesesteak asks, "What's your favorite kitchen utensil?"
I can't hear it.
What'd you say, Ben?
Words.
Philly Cheesesteak asks, "What is your favorite kitchen utensil?"
Philly cheesesteak. So glad you asked. We were.
I was debating whether or not just to answer this one unless someone.
This was gonna be a cooking show. The original idea.
The pilot, which I don't know where it might be.
The pilot episode was a cooking show, and
it was Six Forks is what it was originally called. Six Forks podcast.
Six Forks.
And then we ran out of recipes.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna say that my favorite cooking utensil is a lime squeezer.
Okay.
Have you ever had It's like a handle thing, and you put it's got like a bowl, and then there's another
I think those
bowl
are
on the top,
juicers.
and then you just squeeze it like that with your hand, and it squeezes the lime or the lemon.
Is a juicer a utensil? Can he say that?
Is that a Ben? Can you check that?
Can you Google it, Ben?
A juicer?
Yeah, is a juicer a utensil?
It's not a juicer because a juicer does zzz like that.
That's an electric juicer, I thought. Maybe that's a squeezer. I don't know.
Ben, is it a squeezer?
I'm trying my hardest. All right. I'm searching this up on Google, but our Wi-Fi is too slow.
Overwhelming support for Ben.
What was it? What was the?
So if I'm gonna,
did he get? What was the poll? How much did he get in this poll? If you say over 60% in his favor, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it right now.
So it was a nationwide poll.
Yeah.
Okay. And so.
Well, that's probably why, because.
Yeah, no. They probably didn't know what Ben we were talking about.
Our true support comes from outside.
Republicans thought it was Ben Carson.
Yeah.
Or Ben Shapiro.
That makes sense.
And then the Democrats, Ben. Is there a good Ben on that side?
I don't know. Bernie.
I
thought it was
Benny.
Bernie.
They got confused. Benny Sanders.
Yeah. They thought it was Ben Sanders. Bernie's son.
But no, yeah, it was like 98%. It was really high.
Wow.
Ben is the best.
Ben, how are we doing
He doesn't ask my questions.
How are we doing with Google,
but Ben is the best.
It's also known as a juice extractor, but it is not a kitchen utensil.
I feel vindicated. Thank you. And so my actual kitchen utensil that I think is the best, honestly, I'm going to go with an old-fashioned can opener. There's something to me that's satisfying about and then the spitting. It's just something that the electric one doesn't do for me.
Oh.
But the electric one is time saving, and you know how much I like to save time.
Yeah.
When you're busy, you're busy.
Okay. So I'm glad you brought that up because that's not a good one.
You didn't even give a utensil.
Utensil. So he's talking about like spoons. He's talking about
a kitchen utensil, something you use in the kitchen.
He's talking about metal grabbers. He's talking about double pans.
Metal grabbers.
These are the things that he's talking about.
Brittany, I love you, babe. This Christmas, I'm going to get you a brand new metal grabber.
Let's bring the metal grabbers back. You all know what I'm talking about. Ben, if you could put a picture of a metal grabber right here in post. Can we do that in post?
No.
Make it look like I'm using a metal grabber in post.
Sure.
Okay.
We can
Ben,
try.
Good try, Ben. Good try again. All right, Ben, let's go to the next question.
Questions.
All right. Next question is Owen Politz. He's not watching, so it's fine. I still haven't been invited to the Tiny Dinosaurs Facebook group. I believe that's directed at Jacob.
Well, I regret bringing that up because we were trying to fly under the radar.
Did you catch some flack for that this week?
Yeah. My crew, we were trying to keep it hush hush. Thanks for that, Ben and Owen. Poutlets.
Potlets. Pot is lit.
Pot is lits. Poutlets.
There you go.
Say it together. Poutlets. Owen. So we've been trying to keep it on wraps. We don't like
don't want a lot of attention.
We don't want attention, right? Because
did you get
if you know the truth, you don't need it, right? And yes, we got a cease and desist. We should. That's
you can't just walk into the Fort Worth Natural History Museum and set up your sandwich board.
Well, I don't understand. The trespassing laws in this country are way crazy, are way left field. Don't make any sense anymore. You can't go into.
You brought a lot of attention to yourself on the whole thing.
I mean, they should have let us into the parade. You know, if they were having a parade that day, they should. Like, I stopped at the thing and I said, "Let me in," and they said, "No, this is a closed. This is the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. You can't come in."
Which I thought was just discrimination.
I said, Well, then what is a parade?
Why would you be going down the road if you don't want people to join?
Yeah, and I mean, I had a float and I had a truck, and
oh man, yeah, it's quite interesting.
Doesn't seem. I mean, what is free speech? You know, we're losing
freedom of assembly.
We're losing it.
Freedom of petition, all of those things.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Next question, Ben.
All right, JP asks, can we fire Ben?
Jay, we've been thinking about this.
I'm gonna give you some life advice, JP. When you want to start a company and you don't really know if someone's going to work out, don't make them sign a contract, because that can go bad the other way.
Yeah. They don't
you live and you learn.
They don't teach you that contracts can like you might, the person who made it might be the person who wants out of it.
Yeah.
They don't. So
yeah. Contracts are made to keep people.
Yeah.
Not easily fire them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it was a standard 50, right?
We're not talking about Ben, of course, though.
No. We're saying
just in general. In general, if you want to,
if you're signing a standard
to fire someone,
50-year employment contract,
make contract, or at least it doesn't need to be the host that makes it. You probably should give it to the one that is going to law school.
Yeah, and definitely install an arbitration clause, and you're going to want to put that under an LLC.
It'd probably help out a lot. So,
but that's not lawyer advice.
There are people talking about what's going on, but we're not at liberty to share the details.
We've got some things we're working on.
Have hope, JP.
Trust me, we're in this fight. We're
together.
We're in this mess just as much as you are, Jay. And I'm glad you brought it up.
Thanks for being faithful to the show. Appreciate it, man. Next question, Ben.
The Painted Sheep asks, if you could have any superpower, that would be, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? Mine would definitely be to clone myself infinitely. I'd also like to direct this question to the chat.
Oh, you want the people in the chat to answer what their superpower would be. So
he's not worried about the show. He's worried about he's talking to people on the chat. I'm not even on the chat.
Jacob.
I'm not on the chat.
I don't even know what's going on in the chat. He's probably trashing us, posting bad pictures of us.
Ben wants you to answer.
Right now.
What is your what would if you could choose a superpower, what would it be? Is that what it was, Ben?
Yeah.
And yours and Ben's was
no, it wasn't Ben's.
The Painted Sheep's was.
Oh, the Painted Sheep.
Can we talk about the handle name for a second?
The Painted Sheep.
The Painted Sheep. How does one come up with the name The Painted Sheep?
That's a reference, right? That's is that like a wolf in sheep's clothing reference?
It's a picture of a sheep that has paint on it. So
it's a sheep.
Well, there you go. It's a literal. It's a literal name.
I think someone literally had a pet and they painted it and made an Instagram account.
Painted the sheep.
Did they really?
And made the account.
Oh wow!
Come on, you got all that from the picture, but
what'd they paint on it?
That's what I observed.
What'd they paint on it? What'd they paint on it?
I have no idea. I just saw the profile picture.
All right, Ben. Okay. All right. My favorite. Okay, my superpower would be DJ. What do you got? My superpower would be that I could, instead of my superpower would be that I have a car that goes like 90 instead of the road speed.
You know what I would do?
Yeah.
Automatic water bottle refiller and a slide clicker. Those would be my superpowers.
Then that'd be good because then, we wouldn't need technically
certain things.
By contract, he would be a part, but he wouldn't have to be here in the room.
Move on.
That's good. That's good stuff. Didn't think about that.
If just some lab would create those things.
Like a click, like a
almost
a remote control,
and go,
and it does like this.
Fills back up. Yeah.
Wait, do it again.
Just like that.
Then you don't need Ben.
No. If only those existed.
No.
Somebody.
You don't need to ever.
Could be anybody. If anybody comes up if they could let us know, and then maybe we could
just put links in the comments.
We could look at the legal side of things. You know what I mean?
All right, Ben. Let's go to another question.
All right, Caitlin Sims asks, Chacos or Crocs or Chacos?
Oh.
And I'm obligated by Canis students to ask
Chacos.
this question.
Okay, Canis students being the youth group that I am currently employed over. Yeah, love those guys. Thank you, Canis students, for putting this question up.
I'm a Chaco man.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, I love Chacos.
They would like you a lot.
What was the other one?
Crocs.
Those are the worst.
Yeah, I'm
Those
pretty
are the
sure.
Worst.
I'm pretty sure unless you're over 50 or David Tribble, you don't wear Crocs.
Or under 5.
Or under 5, exactly.
That's true.
Yeah, those are probably the 3 categories you have to fall under.
Yeah. This would be a good time to bring up that.
What are your thoughts on Chacos, though, DJ?
I like them. They're too expensive for me. Too expensive. I don't have a lot of time, and I don't have a lot of money.
So this is a quick tip, and I'm glad. Here we go. So with Chacos, you want a quick tip for how to get cheap Chacos. This could be a whole video by itself, but you go into your local REI or your shoe.
Are there shoe stores?
Palace, and you go to the kids section, and kids Chacos go up to pretty big, and so you can, as an adult, buy children's Chacos that are in fact cheaper.
It's pretty good advice.
And for that you have to thank big-footed children.
Oh yeah. All right. I agree.
Yeah. What we got, Ben?
Any other question, Ben?
We have one other question.
All right, yeah.
Brittany Jordan.
All right. Yeah.
How does one dodge a bee without looking completely insane?
Dodge a what?
A bee. So if there's
a bee.
and you're trying to dodge
Bee,
it.
like a bzz, like a sting bee.
I thought you meant like a beat, like
It's hard to dodge those.
when it's coming at you. You can't. You got to move.
Yeah.
So it's a good point. Thank you, Brittany. Brittany?
Yes. Yeah. Any relation?
That is how you dodge a beat.
No relation.
No relation.
No relation.
All right. Can't do it.
Move.
Yeah.
Don't let it come straight at you. If you have
run
headphones in, watch this. Do a beat. Do one.
Right now?
Do one.
Boom, boom, boom.
Couldn't hear a thing. So
That was really good.
that's one way. If that pop tune comes on, you just
Get out of the room.
Sometimes it helps to do the eyes too.
Oh,
Cover
man.
them both.
I hope this helps people. Really hope it helps people.
I feel like we got a real Dr. Oz type of thing going on here where we're helping
It's
people.
close.
We're helping people with their daily problems that are real.
We give the big spiritual philosophical one.
Mhm.
This is helping you long term.
Yeah.
And then we go,
And
when you wake up in the morning, life starts new.
And then we're looking at like day trading.
I just want to know of the 6 people who are watching, how many are going to try to put their socks on at the same time? Going to dodge the beats?
If you do that, take a video, please, or a picture, because
just try it.
I want to see the physics. I want to put that together in my head. I can't see it. Doesn't feel real.
Agree to disagree. All right, Ben.
Anything else, Ben?
We have one other question. that I'm obligated to
just
ask.
made it. Yeah. Go ahead.
Dylan Sims.
You're obligated to
asks,
ask all the questions.
Does this look like a little weight
your
to
job.
you?
Dylan says, does this look like a little weight to you?
Does this look
We're
like
curious to know what that means to you.
My past has changed. chasing me down right now.
Does this look like
Dylan? I'm glad you're watching, though. It's good to see you, buddy. Well, it's good for you to see me because I can't see you. I'm obviously looking at the camera.
I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah. So there may be stories from church camp that I might have brought up my weight issue.
Yeah,
a few times.
Your weight's been an issue?
It's been a long-standing issue. Yes.
I don't. Okay.
Something I struggle with. I constantly believe people are making fat jokes about me. It's a real problem. And so when people ask me to run or do things, any type of activity, a lot of times my reaction is, does this look like a little weight to you?
Oh. Well, that's a little bit self-imposed there. You kind of brought that on yourself. You know?
But way to rip the Band-Aid back off, right?
That's thank you, Dylan.
Yep. You've met Dylan. You know Dylan.
I know Dylan.
Yeah.
And thank you for that, because I've been wanting to bring up his weight since we started this thing, and this feels like as good a time as any.
Dream come true.
And speaking of a good a time as any, let's hit the next slide.
We've got a brand new segment. It's called Jake's Take. All right. And so what this is, all right, warm up, big guy, warm up. And so what this is going to be is basically it's going to be Jake's viewpoint on a number of different issues. Okay. And so here's a good thing that we'd like you to do in the chat. Okay. So as you guys are, I guess, chatting with Ben over here, if there's anything that you'd like Jake's.
This is not your house.
So no. Gotta get through it. All right.
Here we go.
So if there's anything that you'd like Jake's take on, anything you'd like to see his viewpoint on, please comment it in the chat. And this could be something that we could talk about possibly next week or down the road. All right. So please, if you want Jake's take on something, just simply comment it to Ben and say, hey, Ben, make sure we get Jake's take on this. And we'll move from there. Just make sure it's not one of the things we talk about today. All right. So first up, Jake. All right. You ready?
Introduce me.
All right. To my left, the special guest is Jake Smith. Ben,
Today's
water,
Jake's
Ben.
Take. Ben, hit it. Today's Jake's Take. We're talking about things that I see that I've made up my mind on.
Yeah.
And the first things first, hit the slide, Ben. Economy. I've been wanting to talk about this since day one. The economy is like if you took all the people and you put them in a shoe box. You know, this is the economy. If you put them all, if you put all of them in a shoe box, they're not gonna fit. The shoebox is way too small. So forget where I was.
Because
we're gonna want,
that doesn't make any sense.
We're gonna want the shoebox to be big. The shoebox bigger. That's my take on economy. Ben, hit the slide. Next slide. Go. Ben, Netflix. This is a great. Netflix. The people have been talking about this. If you log on at Netflix, then you can watch any movie you want every single month, and you pay a single monthly installment over every month that you watch it.
On Netflix.
You can see movies, you can see documentaries, you can see.
If they didn't do that.
We have, what do you say?
Netflix.
We have
Netflix.
Whole Foods. Whole Foods was.
What was it? What are you getting? I thought you checking your phone. You don't know what your
Netflix
is gonna be on.
Next slide, Ben. Go. Amazon Alexa. Let's talk about this. I've got a lot to say here, and this is probably gonna get a little controversial. Netflix
controversial
is.
About Alexa.
Have you ever been? Get this. You ever been sitting at home and you feel like somebody's listening to you, and you're like, what is this? And you see, and the only thing in the room standing right there is a Amazon, an Echo, or a Dot.
Alexa. What about the Alexa?
That's what I'm talking about today. So
didn't even touch on anything.
Today we want to start a brand new movement. If you don't believe me, then you can believe. There's a gentleman who lives in my apartment complex, but you have to go up a floor and then to the right. And his name is Gary. You can believe Gary.
What does Gary do?
Well,
Who is Gary?
We don't see eye to eye. Me and Gary don't see 100% eye to eye. He thinks that Alexa was a technology given by the aliens they're forwarding the alien progress. It could be either. Anyways, today,
I don't think there's any credence in either.
Stand with me today during Jake's Take. We're starting a brand new movement. It's called hashtag Eyes on Alexa, as in my hashtag Eyes on Alexa. And I'm encouraging everybody to, instead of being listened to, find places in your house where you can maybe hide on the side of the couch. Maybe you could hide on the side of the TV. And I just want you to, we're going to listen to Alexa. We're going to spy on her. And
you're going to look at the plugged in machine.
Well, yes.
What's that going to do?
Well,
how is that going to change the fact that you think people are listening?
She probably says stuff whenever we're gone. Probably the clues are when you're not there. Because why would they be communicating while you're there? So,
isn't she going to know that you didn't leave
sit behind the table? It's real easy. Turn your table sideways. Alexa won't even know you're there. Don't say her name, because she always talks after that. But if you
chatty after,
if you could just, we're going to keep an eye on her. So show me what you can do. Take pictures, take videos of you spying on Alexa. Hashtag Eyes on Alexa.
Post your and let's make sure we understand that you're talking about posting pictures of the Alexa machine, right?
Well,
I don't want this to go in a
yes. I'm talking about the Amazon the thing that sticks. It's the dot or something, but just we're gonna keep an eye on it. You can set up recording devices. You can set up. We're gonna spy on Alexa. We're gonna kick it back to Big Brother. We're spying on you, and we're getting the real scoop. And I feel like that's going to really unfold in the episodes to come. Stay tuned. Send your pictures at hashtag Eyes on Alexa. That's it for Jake's Take. Don't forget to subscribe and send in all your.
Tell us what you would like to see on Jake's Take. All right,
and I'll take your topic and I'll chop it.
Hopefully, it was researched better.
Up. Kobayashi.
What these four were, especially the Whole Foods one.
You want to do volcano? Steam underneath.
Okay, moving on to the last segment that we've got for you today. You saw the train wreck that was last week, binge watching. And so this week, with our apology that we gave to Ben, we also felt, call us soft-hearted, call us a bleeding heart, whatever you'd like. We decided to let Ben run with one more. This one's called Ben's 5. These are all Ben's choices here. And so, Ben, what category did you have for us for your 5 this week?
Top 5 songs.
Your top 5 songs. So these are your personal top 5 songs, Ben?
Personal top 5 songs.
These are the songs that you think are the best songs that have ever been made.
Ever written on earth.
My favorite songs ever made.
Your favorite songs. Okay, so you don't think these are necessarily the best.
The greatest, but my favorite.
Why would they be your favorite if they're not the greatest?
Why would you listen to less
subpar music?
Songs?
So I haven't heard all the music.
Okay. All right, fellas.
Sounds like that's a good. Yeah. Well.
Okay, Ben. So these
you got us there.
4, 3, 2, 1, or are these
in
just
no particular order?
No particular order. These are your favorite
songs that came to mind.
Well, then we're gonna start with his 5th favorite song. Go ahead and give it to us.
All right. The Man Comes to Town by Johnny Cash.
Oh,
Classic rock and roll one right there.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
yeah,
What's that? 80s?
yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Like a monster ballad.
who did you say that? I know the
Johnny
song.
Cash.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Cash. That was one of those mashups.
Cash 100-yard dash thing.
Mashup. Yeah, they did. They had
Give
the
us
little
a
rap
line of that.
Ben spot.
Yeah.
Did you make that? That song, John. When the man comes to town.
Monster ballad.
Monster ballad.
Yeah, it's a monster
I
ballad. It's
remember
like an
that part
80s
in the
monster
song.
ballad.
I remember being the 80s.
When the man comes to town.
I don't remember that part of the
I
song.
think that is
Was
right.
that in there?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
We're gonna go to number 4 for Ben's
All
favorite.
right.
Ben, hit us with your 4th favorite
Can't
song.
Stop by the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, yeah.
Can't stop.
I can't stop.
Believing.
Hold
Yes.
on to
To
that
that
feeling.
Rock song.
Daylights.
I think that's like Bon
I can't stop believing. I like that one.
Singer
That's
in a
pretty good.
smoky room. Smell of wine and cheese.
No,
Ben.
no.
Jovi. I'm pretty sure that's Bon Jovi.
No, smell like Dr. Pepper.
Oh, Doctor. Oh, yeah. Ben, hit us with number 3.
All right, Good Times, Bad Times by Led Zeppelin.
Oh, let the good times roll, yeah, and let the bad times stay. You remember?
Don't
Some will
remember.
win, some will lose.
Some are born to sing the blues.
Well, the movie never ends. It goes on and on.
That's why you're having a good time, 'cause it keeps going. It's a good movie.
But that was by Bon Jovi, and not by either of
Ben, go ahead and hit us with your second favorite song ever.
Tumble in the Rough by Stone Temple Pilots.
Did you listen to the songs? I didn't.
Ben suggestions.
Yeah.
Why would I listen to Ben's?
Well, I was.
What was that?
That was a good song.
It's good. It's good for team break. I wasn't even. Whenever he sent that out, I didn't look at it. After he said I'm doing a segment, I said I don't care. I'm not going to look at it.
Whatever, Ben.
I haven't. I don't know.
Honestly, didn't think he'd still be here.
What's the name of that artist again?
Stone Temple Pilots.
In the storm, from the storm.
Yeah.
The pyramid rose. The aliens came and sang us their song.
If you could have fit Amazon Alexa in there.
Yeah, I think that song did have something about she's listening to you.
That was made in the 80s.
She's listening to me. But tomorrow I'm gonna hide on the side of my couch and I'm gonna listen to her and write it down and take a picture and post that.
All right,
post it hashtag eyes on Alexa.
All right, Ben. Last.
Under the Bridge.
Probably least.
Under the Bridge. You have to know this one.
Yeah.
I won't even say the artist. You have to.
Yeah.
Don't say the art. What's at the same time we know the artist. Under the Bridge, which is Weezer.
I like that one.
Weezer?
I don't even know why we're still going along. He's not going to stop.
These
He's just going to keep.
are so bad.
He's just going to keep on.
Weezer?
And it's, you see,
Keeps
like
going,
we
going,
put,
and
so
going,
we
and
put
we're
together,
like, stop.
we put together a quality show that people would,
And we nail it today.
yeah.
So good. Just so good.
The way you flew through that first 10 minutes, I was
Thank
like,
I know.
whoa.
Yeah. And we hit the topic. We nailed
Yeah.
that. We go to the questions. And we get awesome questions.
It's
And
been a
then-
good show. Yeah.
Why do we keep putting it at the end?
I don't know.
Maybe just at the beginning.
Can we just quit? Can we just Ben.
This is
Ben.
We're not gonna lie.
We had a team. We did a team meeting.
It's real small one over here.
We're gonna cut Ben's 5.
We're gonna go ahead and let this one out.
We're gonna cut Ben's 5. It's
okay.
It's not a good.
Yeah. Don't stop crying, Ben.
Ben, put it together.
Stop.
Good.
Put it together. You got 50 years on the contract.
Yeah.
But I seriously, I'm gonna need that 50 for the gas. Yeah.
Gas is like $1.28 right now.
No. It's gone back up. And where I'm from, around
$50?
my house, yeah, it's
You
like
drive a Honda Accord.
it's nearly $3.